Hello there, back again. This will be the third and last installment of the CZ455 3-barrel combo. I was going to split this up into two different segments, the 22 Magnum comparison or review and the 17H HMR review, but as it happens, I actually traded it in straight after I finished shooting the 22 WMR and 17H HMR barrels, and so I went straight to my gun shop because I was there yesterday and he said, yeah, I'll let you trade it in on this. So if you're attentive, you would have noticed this is not the rifle that I was reviewing. This is my new acquisition. So I traded the 3-barrel combo in on this. The reason I did that is because I just don't use those 3 barrels. Now, I don't know, I might regret having done that, because when you see the results of the 17H HMR, it was very, very impressive. So yeah, but anyway, I wanted something with iron sights, so this is a, but I'll do a review of this later. This is a CZ455 Lux, but anyway, that's a separate thing altogether. So here we go with the accuracy. Now I'll start off with the 22 mag, how that went. Now I'll start off with what is it? It's Winchester PowerPoint 22 Magnum, 40 grain, travelling at 1760 feet per second. It's a copper-plated hollow point. Yeah. And that was, yeah, typically Winchester ammo-ish, rubbish, average, very average, like 1.2, 1.7, 1.7, 2.3 and 1. That's at 50 metres, so 55 yards, so yeah, not very impressive. Then the next one, is, it's a brand of ammo called Highland. It's marketed here in Australia as Highland. It's actually made by PPU, and I don't have a very high regard of PPU either. The only ammunition of PPU that I've ever used was absolute. I couldn't even chamber it because it would just, the brass was so chewed up around the throat of the case. So, yeah, they took it back. It was 308 ammo. But anyway, so Highland, that's what it looks like. It's got a fox on it. I wrote PPU there to remind me that it is PPU. Highland 22 Magnum, 40 grain hollow point, copper jacketed, and yeah, it wasn't shocking. It wasn't as bad as the Winchester. That's pretty sad when you're better than Winchester. No, it's pretty good when you're better than Winchester. Although, yeah, it's not a huge accolade. So again at 50 metres, so 0.8, yeah, it's not too bad. 1.3, 1.5, 0.88 and 1.6. So yeah, not going to set the world on fire with that, but yeah, better than Winchester. Not very hard to do. Next, weigh this down. Next one is I had what is it? I'm not even quite sure how to pronounce it. Cellier and Bello, I'm assuming. Cellier and Bello. If you're in France, if you're in English-speaking countries, it's Cellier and Bello. Right. Anyway, it's a 40 grain FMJ full metal jacket. Yeah. Hollow point. Hollow point? Is it a hollow point? What does it actually say here? I think it is a hollow point. Let me have a look. Let me have a look just for my, so that I can be sure for all my avid. No, it's not. It's just a full metal jacket. No. FMJ's not a hollow point. Don't be idiot. Anyway, so, and I've found I've not shot a lot of S&B ammunition, but it seems to be okay. And so we've got, again, 50 metres, we've got 1, 1, disregard that because I was getting in line, so there's a whole heap of shooting there. 0.88 and 1.2, so not bad. Better than Highland and Winchester. So there you go. Now, next is CCI Game Point 22 mag, and it's a 40 grain jacketed soft point. So it's got a very small bit of lead showing right at the tip, and that I always found CCI ammunition to be pretty good, and no different. Well, it's all right. I don't know what story is. This thing didn't shoot very well with 22 mag. I don't know whether that's normal for 22 mag or what, but yeah, I'm not even slightly impressed by it. So CCI 1.2, 1.3, 1.3, 1, 1.9. So sort of nothing impressive. I wasn't setting the house on fire with that one. And then we come to Hornady 30 grain VMAX 22 mag. Pardon me, I've got a cold, that's why it might sound a bit funny. I might be talking a bit louder because I can't hear, I'm so clogged up. So it's 30 grain VMAX, their own projectile. And this one wasn't too bad, obviously it did a little bit better because it's Hornady. So Hornady usually make good ammo. So we're again at 50 metres, 0.7, 1.1, 1, 1.1, 0.66. So a lot of consistency. Still nothing to rave about as far as accuracy is concerned at 50 metres, but yeah, it's the pick of the bunch. So as far as 22 Magnum ammo is concerned, that Hornady 30 grain VMAX, yeah, it's good stuff, or average stuff, typically speaking, but as far as all the 22 Magnum ammo that I had, yeah, it really stood out. It's pretty sad. Now, so after I finished shooting the 22 Magnum, I changed the barrels, I swapped the barrels and I put the 17 HMR barrel on, and I only got 3 brands of ammo that I tried. A couple of reasons. Number one, they're just, where I live, or the area that I live in, there's just not a heap of it around. Not a whole lot of choice. I don't think a lot of people use it, because the second reason is that it's not very cheap, you know. It can be quite expensive. It's not too bad, but yeah, I don't think it's. If you're gonna go 17, I mean, I'm gonna buy a 17 Hornet, because if you're gonna go 17, then you might as well just get a 17 Hornet and reload and save a ton of money, because I don't know why it is. A small caliber like that should be, you know, pretty expensive. I don't understand that at all. But anyway, so I put the 17 HMR barrel on, and so I started with, I sighted the scope in. Again, I was using for both the 22 mag and the 17 HMR, pardon me, I was using my Delta Optics 4.5 to 30 titanium, which I love. And so to scope it in, I used Winchester Varmint HV 17 grain, travelling at 25-50 feet per second, which is really hooking along. And so I use this crosshair target to sight in scopes, or to centre scopes, and yeah, straight off the bat with, you know, I'm usually scathing of Winchester ammunition, but this stuff, I was sitting there going bang, 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 and just seeing this tiny little group, and I thought, what is going on here? So yeah, finally some ammo that I have time for Winchester. So the original group was out here, and it was .37. That's at 50 metres, so 55 yards. .37 an inch at 55 yards. Winchester ammo, no. And then I actually got it in the centre, and .73. Yeah, the opposite. Numbers reversed. So anyway, straight up I was going, hey, this is a lot better than 22 Magnum. So then I did one of these targets with the Winchester, and I got, this is at 50 metres again, 0.56, 0.75, 0.8, 0.7, 0.74. So that's a lot better than 22 Magnum, and that's Winchester ammo, so that says something. That says something for 17 HMR. I don't know if all 17 HMRs are that accurate, or this thing is, or I don't know what that thing was, or what. I got rid of it. Next up, the second projectile, or second round was CCI FMJ 17 HMR full metal jacket, travelling at 2375 feet per second. It's a 20 grain. And it's a it's just a full metal jacket. So that was again at 50 metres, 55 yards. So 0.64, 0.37 again. Yeah, 0.85, 0.4, 0.28. That is actually 5. It looks like 4, but one went through exactly the same hole. 0.28 of an inch at 55 yards. That's. I don't have another rifle that can do that, or has done that. 0.28 of an inch at 55 yards. That's, well, actually I do, but as far as rimfires go, that's, oh yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, really. Then Hornady. Next up is the Hornady 17 grain VMAX. It's a 17 grain VMAX. And if you know a VMAX, it's got that polymer. Oh, there's none more left in here because I shot them all. It's got that polymer tip on it, red polymer tip. Now, I thought that the CCI was fantastic. Well, surprise. Guess what? 0.4, 0.3, 0.47, 0.9 with a flyer, but without the flyer. Who knows why that was? Because by the time, yeah, I got to this stage, like this is the second last target that I shot. By the time I got to this stage, it was blustery wind, sideways wind. When they built that range, yeah, they got the directions wrong. So without that flyer, it would have been 0.4 and 0.4. So yeah, I was just in shock. So since good old Hornady proved to be the most potential. Have the most potential, I went out to 100 metres with it, and like I said, by this time it was just wind coming, it'd just bluster up and then stop, and yeah, I'm making excuses again, I know, but that's the reality. So not as good as I thought it would be. It is at 100 metres, so that's 110 yards, so 1.5, 0.83, 1.1, 1.13 and 1.5. So 1, 2, 3. 3 out of 5 groups are sub-MOA. As far as rimfires are concerned, and I don't have a lot of experience, I don't have any experience, this is the first time I've shot a 17 HMR, but if that's what they're like, yeah, kudos for 17 HMR, even though, you know, I don't have a lot of time for expensive rimfire because you can't reload it. So I am going to buy, I was having a look at a Model 25 Savage in 17 Hornet. It's half the price of a CZ455 Hornet or the Ruger 77 Hornet. Yeah, they're really expensive. They're beautiful, but really savage on the wallet. But in any case, so that's pretty much it. I don't know whether you found any of this useful or not. Yeah. But that's what happened, and I got rid of it. I was always intending to get rid of it because I just don't use those 3 barrels. Getting a switch barrel gun, you know, with 3 barrels, and it's very easy to change those barrels. I mean, this is still a 455, so I can change that barrel. I've still got that heavy barrel that I can put on if I want. But it's a novelty, and yeah, I'm just wondering how many people who bought those switch barrels actually regularly change the barrels around. I think it'd only be a few, and I never did. I never shot the 22 mag and 17 HMR until today, when I took it to the range, tested the accuracy, and then traded it in. So yeah, it's a bit of a gimmick, you know. I wonder how many Seiko quads have been sold, you know, and that's really expensive. So, yeah. But anyway, that's all I've got to say on the matter, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.